25 drivers, 16 nationalities, 3 champions, 1 champion. Road to Indy TV.
On behalf of everyone at Allied Building Products, drivers, start your engines.
Once again, let's have a look at the top 3 rows. 2 drivers from Cape Motorsports starting on row number 3. Reese Gold, 15 years of age in the number 3, and just 14 years old from Houston, Texas. Alongside him, Jack Crawford. Row number 2 from Mexico, Manuel Suleiman for D-Force Racing in the number 12. And on the inside, the driver who is chasing the point lead, back by just 12 markers, Braden Eves for Cape Motorsports in the number 8, starting in the 3rd spot. Front row drivers, though, this is going to be interesting. On the outside, 2nd-generation driver Eduardo Barrichello for D-Force Racing. Barrichello in the number 91, the son of former F1 superstar Rubens Barrichello. For the driver on the pole position today from Chicago, Illinois, looking for his first Road to Indy victory for Pabst Racing, the number 23, your pole sitter, Colin Kaminsky. USF 2000 drivers rolling on track. We are ready to go racing here for the first step of the Road to Indy.
Cars are rolling out of the racing pit lane to start their pace lap. Before they come back around again, I want to remind you that there is an autograph session going on right now with our Grand Marshal Andre Iguodala, 3-time NBA champion, honorary starter Ryan Murphy, 3-time Olympic gold medalist. That's in the Firestone fan zone in the Haggerty Marketplace, and they'll be there for about another 20 minutes. So if you'd like to meet Andre Iguodala and Ryan Murphy, head on over to the Firestone fan zone in the Haggerty Marketplace. We are on our pace lap as we get ready to go for this second race of the day. This is race 2, Cooper Tires USF 2000 Grand Prix. Colin Kaminsky on the pole, Eduardo Barrichello starting alongside. Then it's Braden Eves and Manuel Suleiman in the 2nd row, Jack Crawford and Reese Gold in row 3, Darren Keene, Zach Holden in row 4, Euben Santamorthi in row 5, Rasmussen, Bruna Tomaselli and Nolan Siegel, Wyatt Brickacek and Jack William Miller, and in the 8th row, Kyle Dupel and Christian Bogle, final row, Ayrton Ori and Hunter McElray. And Rob Howden has joined me up in the booth. I'll give him a chance to catch his breath after running up 3 flights of stairs. I know what that's like. And this is going to be an interesting one because there's a battle going on for the championship. And starting this one at a disadvantage is the points leader, Hunter McElray, because he is at the back of the field.
Yeah, this is the crazy thing because this was going to be a head-to-head battle as it was. But an issue with the engine and actually a sensor in the engine, not the engine itself. In qualifying, he was not able to get a time. He'll start at the tail of the field. It'll be an interesting opening lap for McElray. But away we go, folks. Drivers working their way through turn number 11. Colin Kaminsky alongside Eduardo Barrichello. Eves and Suleiman on row 2. Spooling up. We're underway. Green, green, green. Final race of this year's USF 2000 Championship. Through turn 1, down the hill, 4 wide coming down into the corner. See if they get through cleanly. Drivers looking good through turn number 2 so far.
Boy, that looked like the 405 freeway in LA as they went into the Andretti hairpin. There's some dust down there at the exit of 2. Somebody got some wheels off.
One driver going around. I think that might have been Crawford. Braden Eves goes to the lead. There was contact coming into turn number 3. That driver able to continue. One of the Cape Motorsports cars, I believe, able to go around. No, that car's still there. One of the Cape cars stranded over in turn number 3. Braden Eves, an aggressive start. He takes the lead away from Colin Kaminsky. Eves knows he needs to win. This is most definitely going to help Hunter McElray because he'll be able to attack here right now until this yellow flag comes out. And I guarantee you, they're telling him to push. He's already got 4 cars.
And the championship will be decided in this yellow flag.
Yep.
It is a yellow flag situation. No passing allowed. You cannot improve your position. You have to follow in line to the car in front of you.
So indeed, the driver is now settling back in, slowing things down. Contacts we see, hopefully we'll be able to see a replay of the contact that we saw going into turn number 3. It was one of the white Cape cars I'm not sure if it was Reese Gold, or rather Darren Keene or Jack Crawford. We'll try to get a look at that again if we can.
Boy, a lot of tire scrubbing coming down into turn 11 as these drivers trying to get heat into these tires.
Okay, let's see who's falling down the order here. That was Jack Crawford. Indeed, the number 4 of Jack Crawford involved in that one. Hunter McElroy moves up to 13th in the opening run. We'll most definitely be looking at how things shake down here in the championship. But as they came in, as I said, a 12-point lead for McElroy. He needed this. This was perfect because this does not allow the drivers to get away from it. He's able to get 4 or 5 spots early and then gets to restart again.
Yeah, 4 or 5 is right. He got 5 spots on that opening lap, and we speculated about that, how hard he was going to charge, and were some of the drivers ahead of him going to make it a little easier for him to go around because they knew he was fighting for the championship.
As they run on the racetrack right now with Braden Eves P1 and McElroy up to 13th, it is a 10-point lead still for Braden Eves. We'll track this championship throughout the race, but again, that was trouble there for Jack Crawford. We're gonna have a little look at the replay for those of you following along from home. Here they are coming out of turn number 2. And I said we'll look probably back about 4 or 5 cars. Kaminsky goes off the outside there as Braden Eves aggressive. Way around the outside comes Jack Crawford. He's far driver left, the right side of the screen. He's going to try to dive in here. See who he makes contact with. That's definitely, I think, with Barrichello. He gets contact with one of the D-Force cars, I believe, Eduardo Barrichello.
Yeah, I saw the front end of the car come up when he hit. Both wheels were off the ground as he came through there.
Yeah, and again, that's just, you know, a young driver, first year in the series. And probably expected he was going to have some room.
Pace cars coming in. They're going to go green flag, Rob, on this next time by. Here they come out of turn 10 down into turn 11. They'll be looking for that green flag when they make the left-hander and come up the start-finish straightaway here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca.
Braden Eves did what he needed to do, and that's take the lead early. The green flag will fly quickly, and Eves jumping on the throttle. He'll work his way up the hill again. He'll work the way through turn number 1. Braden Eves, a solid start. Obviously, the first box for him to check. Can he defend going into turn number 1 and 2? Indeed, he does. A battle here right now for the second position. It looks like Barrichello. Oh, another driver goes around. Further back in the field. That driver able to continue. A lot of dust up here for the drivers in USF 2000, their final race, the 2019 season. Eves goes to the lead. Barrichello slots into second. Kaminsky in third. Suleiman was 4th across the line. Darren Keene up to the 5th spot. Good start here for Darren Keene. McElroy settling in, as we said, 13th position for McElroy on the restart. He'll be getting aggressive, trying to work his way back forward. Where does he need to get to right now? I believe
that was going to be my next question. How far up does he have to get if Eves wins this to clinch the title?
Well, here's the thing. Eves would have 360 points for the win, but there's also the fast lap as well, most laps led. So there's a lot of points still up for grabs here, but 4th position would give him 361 points. He's got a lot of work to do still. Hunter McElroy trying to get himself forward. Braden Eves trying to win this championship.
We'll watch McElroy's progress. As we mentioned earlier, McElroy started 18th because of some problems in qualifying, had an engine sensor issue that made him, they actually disallowed his qualifying times because he brought out the red flag a couple of times through no fault of his own. And on the opening lap of this one, he's moved up 5 spots, started 18th. He was 13th. As they come around this time, we'll look and see where he moves up to. As the scoring monitor's coming down now. McElroy up to 10th now.
P10 for Hunter McElroy, who won the $200,000 scholarship shootout last year to be able to get into the USF 2000 program. The young driver from Australia, pushing hard, trying to take this Pabst racing machine back to the front. Jack Crawford with a fast lap. He's back in the 18th spot. Crawford was able to continue, stays in the lead lap. So Crawford is going to be able to work his way forward here still.
Yeah, McElroy up to 10th. He's lapping at 128. He's lapping faster than everybody up to about the 4th place car. So it's just a matter of getting through traffic. And when he's following slower cars, that's going to affect his lap time as well until he can get around them.
Primary issue right now is we have a 4-driver breakaway up front. Eves, Barrichello, Kaminsky, and Rasmussen have been able to pull about 1.5 seconds on Darren Keene, who leads that next group. As they work their way now down through the corkscrew, you see these drivers really working it, sliding the car down, getting it to rotate as they plummet back down the hill through turn number 9, rainy curve. good start here for Braden Eves. This is exactly what he needed to do to get himself forward, and that was be it really aggressive on the opening corner, and he did so. Was able to essentially force the issue on Colin Kaminsky, led come out of the opening corner. But that yellow flag early most definitely helping Hunter McElroy. He'll probably need another one if he's going to be able to try to get to P4, because that's Christian Rasmussen.
Well, looking at the gaps between McElroy and the cars ahead of him, it's very short, and I would imagine he's going to move up at least 2, maybe 3 spots on this lap.
We'll watch them coming down
as they come through. He is right on them as they come through, and he's lapping quicker than they are, so he's closing rapidly. Looks like the next car ahead of him is only about 0.2 of a second away.
He's right on his gearbox right now, coming through turn number 2, all over Jack William Miller. That's the position right now as McElroy trying to get up to 9th. He was right behind him coming through turn number 2. Here come the leaders through turn number 5. Look a little further back there, you'll see that Soul Red car trying to put the pressure on Jack William Miller in the Miller Vinatieri Motorsports entry. And a rookie team, rookie driver. Of course, where we've capped this race, they will no longer be rookies. They'll have that full season in the books. McElroy needs to push hard here. He's 6.4 seconds back of the leader and about 5 seconds back of 4th position. That's where he's going to need to get to now. But again, that bonus point for fast lap of the race could help him out here as well.
Yeah, Miller's in that red car, car number 40. That's the next car for McElroy to overtake. McElroy in the 22 we're talking about. In the meantime,
driver spinning coming out of turn number 9. Rainy curve around to the inside of the racetrack. Just lost the car coming out of turn number 9, trying to get back on the throttle, that off-camera part of the racetrack. That driver went around, now able to refire.
He's back on track.
I'll try to pick up which driver that is. It appears to me to be one of the drivers from the Newman Walks Racing stable. Not sure which driver that was, whether it was Nolan Siegel or Kyle Dupel. I believe that might have been Nolan Siegel in the number 36, just getting on the throttle a little bit, coming down into turn number 9. Car went around. He is able to continue, though. So Siegel falling to the tail of the field, as I said, got it back onto the racetrack. It's going to be dirty going down to that corner now. Next time they come through, they'll have to watch that for sure.
Oh, you bet. You know what happened? I think his rear end came around on him, and he shot him across the track. He saved it, was able to drive it back away.
We'll have a look at the replay. You can see it a little further back as they start coming through 9. Just started to lose it as he's at the very end of the rumbles, the exit of that corner, and the car just came around on him. He did a great job, because when you start to spin like that, you get that foot on the brake and hold the brake, let the car come to a stop, not roll back into traffic. So Nolan Siegel doing a tremendous job getting control of that spin after he went around.
Unfortunately, no contact with other cars as he came through there. Looks like McElroy right now is stuck behind Miller. He is right on his gearbox as they came through. Less than 0.2 of a second separating those two, but McElroy needs to find a way around and continue his progress to the front if he wants a shot at the championship. Otherwise, it's going to be Brandon Eves is your new champion for 2019.
Yeah, Braden Eves doing pretty good up front here right now, holding on to the spot. Done exactly what you need to do, as I said. Get out front. Make sure you get maximum points and put it back in the hands of McElroy to see what he can do. And Eves getting the job done. The driver out of Gahanna, Ohio for Cape Motorsports, trying to win this championship. Barrichello, though, very strong in 2nd spot. Kaminsky running in 3rd. Those drivers all running pretty much similar lap times, 1:26.1s, 1:26.2s. That's allowed them to pull away a little bit here. Zach Holden has been able to get around Darren Keene. A good battle there for that 5th position. Holden from Greenfield, Indiana in the Legacy Autosport number 14, now to P5. 10th yesterday, so a much better run here today for Zach Holden, now working his way into the top 5. Keene runs in 6th, Sundaramurthy in 7th, Reese Gold 8th. Hunter McElroy finally able to get by Jack William Miller. He'll now go to work reeling in Reese Gold. Fast lap of the race could be crucial here, and he has that right now. Hunter McElroy, fast lap of the race.
1:25.8.
A 1:25.886 for McElroy as he's working his way forward now. That is a bonus point that we'll continue to watch. I don't think it'll be a factor right now, because most laps led at this point in the hands of Braden Eves, so that we'll probably cancel each other out. We'll go straight to the 30 points versus whatever else you get coming down the order.
Yeah, Barrichello putting pressure on your race leader, Braden Eves, too, because he's less than half a second behind him. Barrichello having a good showing here this week, and he was strong yesterday, and he is second now, putting pressure on the leader, trying to get by and get to victory circle.
I think Kaminsky might have just got by. Indeed, Colin Kaminsky by in turn number 2, going down into that hard braking zone. Colin Kaminsky now working his way into second. Now, here's one thing I'll tell you. Kaminsky and Hunter McElroy, both with Pabst Racing. They've become good friends over the year, I guarantee you. Kaminsky, number 1, wants his first race win, and number 2, he would love to put Braden Eves back a spot. If he did, that would change everything, because that's a big gap. When you look at the way the championship points, Dick, are lined up, it's a big gap. It's 30 points for the win. It goes down to 25 for second, 22 for third, and then it starts going just 1 point, 19, 17, 15, 14. So it's interesting. It's that big gap up top that's allowing Braden Eves to have the championship in his hands right now. If Kaminsky can close in, pass for the race win, that would move Eves down to just 355 points. That would change the amount of points or positions that McElroy would need to get to, potentially only needing to advance to 6th position. So many different permutations.
Yeah, and it's fluid because
it
keeps changing as the race progresses, as McElroy continues to work his way up through the field, and Braden Eves trying to hang on to the lead. Now, as you mentioned, being challenged by Kaminsky.
A little lockup for Hunter McElroy, trying to put the pressure here now on Rhys Gold. They'll work their way under the bridge. Here they come down into the corner. That's 1st through 4th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Look at McElroy back there in the 9th position. He's trying to get by that Gold machine. That is indeed Rhys Gold. Jack William Miller hanging with him. McElroy not able to make the move down in turn number 2. The sense of urgency, I would expect, starting to heighten for the driver from Australia. We're coming away to the halfway point of this race. 8 laps down, 12 to go. McElroy currently in the 9th spot, which would give him, at this point, 354 points. Add that bonus. Braden Eves going to have a bonus as well, unless Kaminsky can get by here momentarily. Again, so many different calculations coming into play.
And it's tied up at the front. There's only a second and a half between the top 4 cars. Braden Eves, Kaminsky, Rasmussen, and Barrichello.
Yeah, watch him come down the corkscrew right there. I think they're lined up 1, 2, 3, 4. Front wing to gearbox all the way back. That entire front running quartet locked together, and this could play because Kaminsky's able to get by Eves. You never know.
Boy, look at that train going down into turn 11.
Because Rasmussen's been able to get by Barrichello. And remember, Christian Rasmussen for Jay Howard Driver Development won yesterday. He's got 3 victories. There's a pass for Hunter McElroy to the inside of turn number 11. Book it. He's through. McElroy goes to P8 as he's able to get by Rhys Gold. Crucial move there for Hunter McElroy.
There was more passes being set up as they went by start-finish to go down into the Andretti hairpin, too. And there goes another one. I think that's Barrichello and Kaminsky.
That's Rasmussen.
Or rather, Rasmussen and Kaminsky.
Rasmussen's been able to go by Kaminsky. That's given some room here right now for Braden Eves. A little breathing room for the American as Rasmussen pushing forward. He had such a good run yesterday.
Yeah, he was the winner. Yes, he picked up a couple of spots right there in this lap.
Walked away to the race win. Rasmussen did his 3rd win of the season, trying to sweep it here. He's pushing forward. Kaminsky now goes back to 3rd, Barrichello in 4th, but Hunter McElroy now up into the 8th spot. He'll now try to close on his teammate Yuvan Sundaramurthy in the number 21. I don't think Sundaramurthy is going to give him much of a battle when they get up there as well. Then it'll be Darren Keene. 6.2 seconds back is Sundaramurthy. 7 seconds back of the leaders is McElroy. But again, trying to figure out where Hunter needs to get to steal this championship away. Braden Eves, though, out front, getting the job done here. A lot of action behind him. The fight between Rasmussen, Kaminsky, and Barrichello, but look for Rasmussen to close back up on the leader.
You know, as long as McElroy is stuck behind some of these cars and trying to work his way up, it will not allow him to turn faster lap times, but Eves is not taking advantage of this. He's not getting that far ahead. And there we go. Eves turned to 125.8, the first 125 I have seen for him. So a quick lap for Braden Eves, your race leader there. And here comes McElroy trying to work his way up into 7th by Sundaramurthy.
He's got it. Makes a move to the inside of turn number 2. McElroy goes now to P7 with lots of open racetrack in front of him. That'll give him the opportunity to try to lay down a fast lap here. But it was Eves coming across the line. Rasmussen closing now, though, to within 0.8 of a second of the leader.
Boy, this has been action-packed, and we are just now coming up to the midpoint of this race. 11 laps of 20 to go.
We're working on the 11th lap, 10 down, 10 to go. They gave them the crossed halfway flags last time by. And it's interesting to see what the drivers will do now, because the tires, of course, they've pushed them past that optimum grip that they'll have. But again, lap times continue to fall. Fuel load starts to get a little bit lower. These cars get quicker and quicker, and the Cooper tires really do last throughout a full stint. They don't lose much, a couple of tenths off their best, but then with the lighter fuel loads, they still start turning great lap times.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. They go through a heat cycle. Can you cool them off and back off a little bit, and will they come back for you?
Most definitely. Any racing tire will do that, right? When you back off, as you know. The key for these drivers here right now is, one driver 4 wheels off further back.
That's 10. Turn 10.
At turn number 10, that was actually Reese Gold. He went 4 wheels off in turn 10, brought it back on. I think Jack William Miller able to get the spot. Christian Rasmussen just grabbed the fast lap of the race.
Yeah, our monitor updates and shows McElroy now up into 7th. He is chasing Keane now, and he's got about 1.8 seconds to make up. He's got some time.
He was 0.4 of a second quicker last time by. Hunter McElroy trying to close up on Darren Keane. But that bonus point, we're thinking about that, because now that we're past the halfway point, Braden Eves will get the point for the most laps led. So that'll put him up to, I believe, where he runs now, 361 points. Man, this is unbelievable right now.
It's going to take about 2 or 3 laps for McElroy to get close enough to work on Keane and get up into the 6th spot.
So, Dick, listen to this. If Hunter McElroy is somehow able to get himself up to 4th position, he would have 361 points. If Eves wins with that bonus point that he's already got, that's 361 points. We would go then to the tiebreaker, and it would go to Braden Eves. 5 wins to 4 wins. It would be 6 wins if you get
Have you factored in the fastest lap?
Well, the fastest lap at this point he doesn't have. So yeah, exactly. That could be a tiebreaker as well.
That could be the tiebreaker in this. And they're both turning 125s.
Yeah, Rasmussen with the fast lap right now, though, 125.4 last time by. McElroy's got open racetrack. Let's see what he does this next time by, trying to close up on Darren Keane. You wonder if he's burnt the tires off a little bit earlier in the run, trying to get himself forward. And it doesn't matter. If he doesn't get to 4th, it doesn't matter anyways. Because right now, currently, McElroy sitting in that 6th or 7th position. That's 356 points. He would come about 5 points shy of the championship. And again, those of you who are watching here, worked your way to your seats for the NTT IndyCar Series main event. This is it. The driver who wins the championship here in the USF 2000 program is going to get a full scholarship to move to Indy Pro.
Keep your eye on Rasmussen. He is charging hard. He won yesterday. He'd like to make it a double win weekend. He's 0.3 of a second behind Braden Eves, your race leader. That'll really mess things up.
Well, and that's it. If Rasmussen wins, Eves drops down to 355 points, and where he runs right now, McElroy has 356. But the bonus point puts him back to 356. They would still be tied.
No pressure.
None at all. McElroy, though, needs to catch up to Darren Keane. He has to get the job done. In fact, he was about 6 or 7/10 of a second quicker last time by. This is going to come down to Eves holding off Rasmussen and McElroy being able to get by Darren Keane. That's how close this championship is here in USF 2000. Of course, Oliver Askew, having already locked and loaded his Indy Lights Championship, we'll see him next year in the NTT IndyCar Series. Only question now is where does he land? In Indy Pro 2000, we'll have that race after IndyCar later today, and Kyle Kirkwood essentially in the driver's seat to win the championship there.
Yeah, we've been talking about all the championship permutations here. Let's set the field for you. Braden Eves, I'm sorry, number 8 is your race leader. Rasmussen now up in the 2nd spot, yesterday's race winner in car 6, followed by Kaminsky, 3rd in car 23.
Side-by-side action, folks, for the lead coming into turn number 2. Eves able to hold off the challenge from Rasmussen. They had side-by-side contact coming out of turn number 2. Wow, that allowed Kaminsky to get back into the position. You can tell this is about the championship because Braden Eves has got the elbows up. He's not letting anybody get around him. That was hardcore racing for a championship worth over $500,000. What an incredible run here right now for Braden Eves. He wants to win this, and he's not going to leave anything else on the table.
He's driving a very wide car at the moment.
No doubt about it. If people are getting close to him, he's making sure that he gets them off the track. And I got to think the race control probably let this happen. Here they all come through again. This has allowed Zach Holden to close up here as well. Holden in that number 14 as she's closing. He is in P5. He's now, well, he was 1.2 seconds back, but look how much closer he is now coming down the hill through turn 9 over to 10. Holden and the Legacy Autosport machine. Little drop of the wheel there for Rasmussen.
Kicks up dust on the outside of 10 at the exit.
When you do that, you lose the drive off the corner. That's one of the issues because you got to pedal a little bit. Here come the drivers across the start-finish line. Indeed, look at this run here for Barrichello. He's going to go to work here on Rasmussen coming down into turn number 2. Try on the outside. Kaminsky's closed back up again. I tell you, they'll be on the radio with Collins saying, listen, you got room behind you. Go get Eves because we need you to get by if we want to win this championship. Cape Motorsports has won the last 8 championships here in the USF 2000 program. They want to win another one here with Braden Eves. Hunter McElroy continues to close up on Darren Keene. That would be big for him to get to P6.
Yeah, he's running out of time, though. He's got a full second behind Keene, and then Keene's almost 3 seconds behind Holden, the 5th place car.
And Keene turned the wick up a little bit. He was about a 10th quicker than McElroy last time by. This may come into the hands of Kaminsky. A bonus point already, as we said, for Braden Eves. If he finishes second, it would be 356 with that bonus point already added. As he runs on the racetrack right now, Hunter McElroy 356 unless he's able to find a fast lap.
I think Kaminsky and Rasmussen are having a heck of a battle for second spot, and this is allowing Braden Eves to breathe a little bit easier.
You can see them coming down the hill. Actually, the battle right now, I believe that Holden's been able to get by Barrichello. Zach Holden, the Indiana driver for Legacy Autosport. Indeed, he's moved to 4th. Holden to P4. 6 laps to go. In fact, when they come across the line, make that 5 laps remaining in the 2019 Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship. 0.6 of a second the lead for Braden Eves. Last time by, he was about a 10th quicker than his challenger, Colin Kaminsky. Kaminsky has a half a second advantage on Rasmussen. That translates into about 3 car lengths as they come out of turn number 2 over to 3.
McElroy still just about a second back, 0.9 of a second behind Keene. So he's not making any inroads there, and they're lapping almost identical times, 126.5 and a 126.4.
Yeah, just chipping away at it. You can't do that with 5 to go. McElroy, again, it's in his hands. He has to close on Keene. That's all he can do right now. And then, of course, Colin Kaminsky, his Pabst Racing teammate, trying to just step up to another level to try to get his first win. And I'll tell you, if he gets that first win and in any way plays into the opportunity for Hunter to win this championship, he will be thrilled. 5 to go.
McElroy's got to move up. Eves has got to win it.
Keep an eye on the screen here. We say hello to those you folks again tuning into the Road to Indy TV app. Great to have you with us watching this action from WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. It's been a tremendous finale in this USF 2000 Championship. Look at Colin Kaminsky, how close he is coming out of 10. Is an opportunity to happen here over in turn number 2. Kaminsky needs the drive off the corner. They'll work their way out of turn number 11. It's the big climb back up the hill. Is Kaminsky close enough? No, it's about 4 or 5 car lengths as they come underneath the bridge here.
But Kaminsky likes to make that move up there in the Andretti hairpin in 2 and 3.
Here comes the move, potentially to the inside. Are we going to get contact? We do get a bit of contact. Rasmussen to the inside. He'll take the spot from Kaminsky.
He pushed Kaminsky outside. He got inside him, no place to go. I think they touched wheels, and Rasmussen got through safely, moved back up in the second spot.
Right front to left rear contact as Kaminsky tried to hold him back. Colin not close enough to try to stay with Braden Eves. It actually became the challenge from behind he had to worry about. That's put Rasmussen back into second and again has opened up the lead for Braden Eves. I'll tell you, that opening lap aggression from Eves, able to control it all and leave the second corner with the lead, could give him the championship because Hunter McElroy still about 0.9 of a second behind Darren Keene with just 4 laps remaining.
Yeah, McElroy kind of stalled for the moment. Let's see if he can move up. But I'm interested to see what Rasmussen's going to do to Eves now that he's gotten by Kaminsky. Again, he would like to make it 2 wins for the weekend. Our winner yesterday in that number 6 car. Eves comfortably ahead, got about 0.6 of a second over, well, that was last time by over Kaminsky. We'll have that update when they come by across start finish again.
I don't think there's any comfort at all. It's maybe a half a second last time by. I would not be comfortable because Rasmussen is on a tear. Remember, the win yesterday is 3rd of the season. Lots of momentum, lots of confidence from the young driver from Denmark. He just laid down a lap of 126.3. Both he and Eves the same lap, 0.8 of a second. But now he can go to work. That last lap, remember, he made the pass on Kaminsky, so he lost a bit of time there. 3 laps to go. Christian Rasmussen's coming. But Braden Eves, I believe if he finishes second, where McElroy runs right now, I think he's still going to be okay. McElroy back by 0.7 of a second. If McElroy gets to 6th, so if Braden Eves finishes 2nd with the bonus point, that would give him 3:56. If Hunter McElroy can get Darren Keane, that's 3:57. Unofficially, I believe it would be McElroy, but he has to get Darren Keane. He's back by 0.7 of a second. There's the gap as they work their way through turn number 6 right there. Dick, this is the battle. They'll work their way to the top part of the corkscrew. Your top 5 coming through. Good job for Zach Holden working his way to 4th. A great run. There's that's 6th and 7th right there coming down the hill. That is Keane. That is McElroy. 2 to go, and McElroy needs to get Keane for any shot at this championship.
He's still a long way back. It's a real challenge for him to do it. He needs one more spot.
Oh, you see how hard he's pushing down into turn number 11. The front of that car kind of swaying left and right, really maximizing the brakes. He'll try to close up again.
And Rasmussen closes up on Eves. He's got that down to about 0.5 seconds as they head into the Andretti hairpin.
Keane was actually quicker than McElroy last time by. This could come down to just a couple of points between Braden Eves and Hunter McElroy. What an issue for McElroy in that qualifying run, having to start at the tail of the field. He has worked his way from 18th up to 7th, but appears to be stalled at this point here. The white flag will fly next time by. 2 laps remaining. Rasmussen still closing. And this all relies on Rasmussen getting by Eves anyways, because if Eves wins this, he'll have 361 points, I believe. Braden Eves trying to win this championship, 2 to go.
And if Rasmussen wins it, the championship goes to McElroy.
Indeed, and the crazy thing is, no, it actually doesn't. If he wins it, it still will be about a point, I believe. That's the issue right now. No, they'll be tied. If Rasmussen wins, they'll be tied on points.
Then it goes to race wins?
And Eves has more race wins.
That's the tiebreaker.
5-4. This is unbelievable. And Rasmussen's closed up. He is right there now as they work their way to the final corners of this racetrack.
You could not have scripted a better finale for the USF 2000.
Hold on, folks. Final lap here for USF 2000. This is it. Let's see what happens here. They'll come across the line. Rasmussen to within about 4 car lengths. He's going to want this race win. He's had a great second half of the season. Look how close he is coming down into turn number 2. Right there on the gearbox of Braden Eves. Eves racing for the chance to go Indy Pro Racing next year. Rasmussen, the Dane, trying to get 3rd place in points right now. What a fight so far.
They're going through 4. Let's see if he can try something over in 5.
Got to get that set up through turn number 4, as you said, Dick. Then it's that run down to turn 5, the left-hand braking before you go back up the hill to 6, 7, and 8. Not close enough to get the job done in turn number 5. Do we see something in the entry potentially to the corkscrew? Does he have it there? McElroy has fallen back a little bit. Couple tenths behind. McElroy's going to end up in 7th unless something else happens here. Drivers working their way up to the corkscrew now. Let's have a look at that lead battle. It is Eves versus Rasmussen. Look at Rasmussen trying the outside. They'll rocket their way down through the corkscrew. He's right there. Final lap. Eves trying to win a championship. Rasmussen trying to get the race win. Coming down on a rainy curve. Doesn't try it in turn 10. Is it an aggressive move to the inside of turn 11? Eves doesn't need to win this, but he's going for it. They'll come to turn number 11. Final lap here in USF 2000. Eves will come out of the corner as the winner, as the leader. He'll win this championship. He'll win this race in Laguna Seca. Braden Eves, victorious in the final race of the season for Kate Motorsports, and unofficially will be your champion of this year's program. Eves wins over Rasmussen. Colin Kaminsky finishes in 3rd. Zach Holden 4th. Eduardo Barrichello 5th. Darren Keane in 6th. Hunter McElroy throwing everything he could. Started 18th. Worked his way up into the 7th spot. Reese Gold ends up at 8th. Yuvan Sundar Murthy in 9th. And Bruno Tomaselli rounding out the top 10. Dick, we were following all the calculations, all the permutations of what could have happened. We got to a point where we were essentially just watching for one pass, and it just didn't happen.
That's it, yeah. And it was non-stop action for the whole 20 laps. What a battle, what a tremendous show by all the drivers, and good clean driving too. No big issues. One minor yellow flag as one car went off early in the race, but got back on. I think we had one lap under yellow and they went back to green, and it was green flag racing for 19 of the 20 laps.
If we would have had another yellow, it definitely would have changed the storyline, but these drivers did such a good job following a little bit of a skirmish early. The racing we saw behind Eves between Rasmussen, Kaminsky, and Barrichello, and then Zach Holden coming into the fight as well. Tremendous to watch for sure. We're going to go to the podium right now, and it's obviously exciting because the driver who won is going to be doubly excited because he won the championship as well.
Rob Houghton, thank you very much. We'll be talking to you soon when you get down to Victory Circle.
It's everything I ever dreamed of. You know, I've dreamed of this all year. The team has won 8 in a row, and I had a lot of pressure on myself that I put on myself to deliver a 9th championship in a row for them. And to continue my career in racing, it was vital that I earn this scholarship provided by the series that provides such a great opportunity to us drivers and creates hope for all of us that we can continue and make it to IndyCar someday with this amazing series that is USF 2000 and the road to Indy. I can't thank everyone from the series enough for giving us this opportunity, and I was able to capture it today, so oh my gosh.
Walk me through the race a little bit. It was an intense race from start to finish. Just talk me a little bit through it.
I knew I had to win. I had to win in order to win the championship. I had so much pressure from behind. I had to win. I go into turn 1, and Kaminsky ran wide. I was able to capture the lead, and they all had new tires, and they definitely had a little bit better pace than me, so the whole race I was just pushing, couldn't make a single mistake. Oh my gosh. That was the most stressful race I've ever done, and I was able to hold on. It was Kaminsky and Rasmussen. They were so fast and putting pressure on me the whole time. If it was one more lap, I don't know if I would have been able to hold on, but the stars aligned today, and I was able to get it, so unbelievable.